Well, this is certainly a surprise. If you've been with the channel for a while, then you'll remember that one of my very first reviews was of Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. I found the project lacking as a remaster and inadequate in the face of its $60 price, but about a year later, it seems as if Nintendo is trying to rectify that with a free update that came out of nowhere that does at least address some of the most glaring issues, and throw in a few extra goodies on top as a bonus. The biggest addition to this update is the inclusion of Dixie Kong as a playable character, working as she did in Tropical Freeze, twirling her hair to provide upward lift and essentially act as a double jump, though I swear she's just slightly slower to ascend here than she was in Tropical Freeze. But perhaps that's my brain playing tricks on me. I remember saying something like this would have gone a long way in improving the remaster to me, and sure enough, it does. The game not being designed with Dixie in mind means that she can easily grab some collectibles that are meant to be more challenging for Donkey and Diddy, but conversely, that also means there's parts of the game that are slightly harder for her moveset to tackle. She's a novel way to buck the original intended experience by coming at the game from a new angle. I do wish Cranky was also backported from Tropical Freeze, but perhaps that didn't sit right with the developers since he already runs the shop and returns, or more likely the devs simply didn't have the time or the money to do so. There's also a new mode called Turbo Attack, which is essentially speed attack but if the game was on fast forward, and the times for gold medals in this are simply ridiculous. I couldn't even get a gold medal on the first level, and quite frankly, the increased speed just makes the game feel incredibly slippery and fucks with the weight-based momentum that makes the Kongs so satisfying to control. So I can only recommend this mode to the most dedicated of completionists and speedrunners. Also, the loading times are fixed and several glitches, including the borked multiplayer bounce, have also been addressed. There's a resolution bump for the Switch 2 version, but that might have worked against this remaster as it froze the relatively flat and jagged texture work into much sharper relief, principally so if you're playing in docked mode on a large screen. It's also jarring since Dixie's texture work seems to be just slightly better than everything else in the game. It's almost as if they just ripped her model from Tropical Freeze and reused it. I don't think that's what they actually did, but however they implemented her, it looks ever so slightly off. So the update's cool, but does it help the game finally justify that $60 price point? While Dixie does turn the game on its head and offer a compelling twist for any repeat playthrough, and the Turbo Attack is bound to keep speedrunners busy for years, while I still think Returns HD falls just a bit short as a remaster in some regards, with these new improvements, I would advise grabbing it if you can take advantage of the rare Nintendo sale.